Oh, it's back, everybody. The old lookalike characters, the old social engineering and phishing trick, the homoglyph attack. Honestly, it really never left. Booking.com phishing campaign uses sneaky, that squiggly character to trick you. I saw this hit the interwebs just a bit ago on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Now, of course, a Bleeping Computer article out and about where threat actors are leveraging a Unicode character to make phishing links appear like legitimate links. Booking.com, specifically in this case, a new campaign distributing malware. Of course, the attack makes use of the Japanese hiragana character, I hope I'm getting that pronunciation right, which can on some systems appear as a /. So like folders or directories or just the usual slashes that you see in your address bar might look realistic, but instead it's a lie. This symbol specifically, and seeing this out and about in the wild, it looks like was first covered by James W.T. And the hiragana character, or this little squiggly with the Unicode hex value 3093, closely resembles the Latin letter sequence /n or /tilde. Now the / is the key component there because the visual similarity enables scammers or bad actors to create URLs or links that appear like they belong to a legitimate or genuine website, but instead it'll redirect or direct users to a malicious site. So the researcher James first saw this phishing email, and really it's HTML, right? Okay, rendered and displayed in your web browser to add all this sort of table, colors, and design and aesthetic here, so you could mask or hide what the link or lure really looks like in the email. But for going to the actual URL, like if you were to hover over it, even if you were to hover over it, those / might look like, oh, legitimate. And I say keyword might, because maybe you did or didn't fall for this. That symbol isn't probably what everyone would note as a /. But here's what bad actors get to do that's a little bit interesting. The text in the email, like if you were to click it, might look deceptive. If it looks like a Booking.com address or any other, I know that's just specific to this case, the actual link is account.booking.com hiragana character, detailed hiragana character, restrict access, blah, blah, blah. So you can see even in this picture here, the solid black color is your browser telling you that's the actual domain. The / and that slightly gray or faded after that is everything else that might be a page. But that means this is literally the domain, like the website you visit and what's typed in the address bar, facebook.com. Rather than Facebook, oh, you've got all this account booking.com, blah, blah, blah. And all the periods or dots could be subdomains. You have a lot of flexibility and power there. And using these sneaky characters as part of the domain basically lets them put the beginning or the very start of the domain and make that whatever they want, as close or as realistic or as absolutely as identical as they can to the real impersonated site, and then tack on a bunch of nonsense and potentially hide the rest of the real website name there at the rest. So that's clever. Not meaning to drill down into the rest of the malware incident here. It looks like that could lead to an MSI installer from some other rogue website, very likely an info stealer, like some malware that will intentionally grab all of the passwords, secrets, cookies, credentials, session tokens, and information on your computer so that could later be sold out and about on the dark web. Or it's a phishing page itself that has you log in and steals your credentials right then and there. Again, later to be put out on the dark web. Social engineering in phishing kits and info stealer malware runs rampant. But maybe you didn't fall for this. Maybe this symbol, that hiragana character, maybe that wouldn't trick you and, oh, that's a / as it usually is in a web URL. So I'm wondering, what are the other Unicode characters or other characters that fall into this same lookalike category that could lead to that homoglyph attack? I want to dig into that in this video, but before we do, please let me take a quick moment to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Flare. Flare is a threat exposure management platform that tracks cybercrime activities, illegal and illicit conversations, chatter, things on Telegram even, and all the stuff that enables adversaries and threat actors about your information, your exposed attack surface. Personally, I really like to use Flare for research, some of that cyber threat intelligence, and just seeing what threat actors and bad actors are up to on the dark web, but you can define a handful of identifiers for your tenant. You get to say, who are the folks, who are the team members, who are the employees, individuals in your company, business, and organization that you want to keep an eye on, and really keep an eye on their info, their digital footprint. Is their information out and about on the open internet, in the clear net, or the dark web? And are threat actors and adversaries already buying and selling that info? Like, think of data breaches or information that's been published by ransomware gangs or ransomware actors and all the folks chatting about it. Flare has collected so much stuff from all these different sources in the dark web, Signal group chats, Telegram chats, and more. It gives you the visibility and telemetry alongside reporting or pertinent information for different industries, sectors, and even supply chain threats and leaked credentials like username and password combinations. Hey, there's a link to the free trial of Flare in the video description, but seriously, it is just so cool to use even for research. It's like Google of the entire dark web. That way you and your team can be notified with alerts when any info is exposed. So attackers don't have the information advantage. Check out Flare, link below in the video description. Thanks so much. Okay, now let's start to explore, and let's go see what other characters might look like a / in this homoglyph attack or puny code attack you might also hear, because it's using Unicode characters most often. Now, I gotta be honest, we could scroll through like a whole website that lists out and displays all of the possible Unicode characters, but there might be a better solution: AI. ChatGPT could probably crank through this, not gonna lie. This way we can get a filtered list. Please read this article. I pasted that link to the Bleeping Computer article. Tell me what other Unicode characters could be used to look like a / See how that does? You're asking what other Unicode characters besides the Japanese hiragana. Uh-oh, I hope I wasn't mispronouncing that earlier based off of memory. Some folks suggest the division /, the fraction /, big solidus, like Big Chungus. There must be more than that. Please give me an exhaustive and extensive list of all possible Unicode characters that look like a /. Give me a table with just one column with all the characters themselves, so I can easily copy this into my clipboard with each individual character on its own on each individual line. And forgive me for hopping into ChatGPT. This is just so that we have big long list, little compilation collection of the characters that look like this / character. You could do this for just about anything, but it saves us the manual work of scrolling through the Unicode reference and then trying to find them one by one. Okay, ChatGPT is done. Here you go. One per line, easy to copy. Big thanks. So what I want to do is actually copy all of this. And now I actually want to jump into my Kali Linux virtual machine just so I could easily stage these in a place that we could play with them. So let me make a directory in, actually, we'll do it in our temp directory for like homoglyph. And now let me actually work with these as individual files. So I'm going to open this in a text editor in Sublime Text. And what I want to do is hit Control A to select everything, Control Shift L to create multiple cursors on each line, and now I'll hit the home and end keys to be able to kind of rapidly stage these as like a echo. Let's create a file that would render in our web browser. So let's just use HTML tags here, and then a line like hello world, and redirecting that out to what would be a file now. Prefix of please, and then say we were in another directory of our folder. Let's just do it pleasesubscribe.com. Haha, hee hee. And I want to nuke the bottom two because those look a little bit dangerous and the others don't even really render. So let's use maybe those options. Or you know what, let's just try it all. I'm gonna copy these, and now these are all commands. I can paste them into here and then see how well it will do. We've created all of the files in our current directory. Oh, and ChatGPT didn't even give me the hiragana symbol. I want that one, so I'm gonna copy that just as well. And I do wanna stage this one. So let me grab that same echo line. Please subscribe.com. Let's just run that as well. Done. Okay, so now we have all of these that could be displayed probably in a web browser, right? Let me spin up an HTTP server for this, and I'll put it on port 80, so it's nice and convenient. What is my current IP address in this virtual machine? I'm using IPAS or IP adder show, and I need a local IP 192.168.111.179. But now over in a Windows virtual machine, let me open up a browser and try to go to that page so I can see all all of these listed here. Now, which of these look more like a forward slash to the point where you would be tricked, or moving quick, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa might be fooled? I want to be able to see the address bar up here, so let me see how this one would look. Oh, the .com file extension is going to make it think that it's a whole actual file. I was trying to do that so that we could view it as a domain in a second, but maybe it's worth doing that as HTML instead. HTML, making those quick changes. Let's run all these commands once again, and now we have HTML. Okay, I can refresh this, spin up that server one more time. Let's go try to see this page now. Okay, can I access these? Yeah, that kind of looks like a forward slash to me. This one, also a little bit dangerous. Another, granted, these are all in the file name. It is not actually creating a directory, but including that as a file, correct? That one's a little bit egregious. You could probably see that pretty well because there's so much white space around it. And then you got weird stuff in here, but I wonder if that could be used or leveraged and how those would perform. I am just curious, taking a look at all these. The overline on the slash is, well, if you didn't see that, you know, moving quick. Big one, actually, big one might fool us. That one looks good. The 3 slashes or double slashes are kind of a giveaway. I don't think those would work as well as we would want if we were to poke and play with this. That one looks good. And then the weird squigglies, those don't look like what they should. And nor does this, truth be told, but I think that one has a special secret advantage. So once we're done kind of cruising through these, just seeing what they look like, that one doesn't work. Absolutely not. How about this forward slash, a little bit too wide? How about this one? Also still a little bit angled the wrong way. But look, again, I'm showing you these as the file that would be referenced and not the domain. So how could we get this to see what it might look like as a domain? Well, quick convenience for us. What I want to do is actually modify just the etc. hosts file that's on Windows. So if you aren't familiar, this is where you could almost sometimes do like a poor man's domain sinkhole or DNS sinkhole, because I want the privileges to be able to modify in the path C Windows System 32 drivers, etc. hosts. That's where this file is. Looking at that host file, we could actually specify or craft our own domain for any other IP address or actual location out on the interwebs. So let me go back to the Sublime Text kind of scratch pad that we had. And if I walk this back to where we were previously on just the Unicode characters themselves, granted, I do still want the original character in it. So let me cut this up. So let's just use our local IP address that we've been using for testing, 192.168.111.179. And then let's craft the domain on this side. And this is where things could get creative, right? Say we went to youtube.com/account login or whatever .com. Again, you can make that realistically whatever you want, but you would not be buying or trying to impersonate or replicate the domain youtube.com. You would be doing the entire thing, youtube.com/whatever other nonsense you want to fill up the back. Does that make sense for the trickery? Anyway, again, over in our Windows world, let me paste all of those in, and a couple of them have those oddities, but if I save this, I should be able to get to youtube.com sketchy/account login, whatever, right? So let me try to access that in my URL address bar rather than the /. Now I think we'll need to http:// this just so the browser knows to, hey, try to go to the one that I set specifically in etc. hosts rather than doing a search on Brave. I guess it did. Okay. Let me actually clean up some of those weird ones because, that white space is just doing odd stuff. Let me try to save this one more time. And now let's see if we could access these A-OK. So rather than the IP address in the address bar, as we were testing it as like a follow on file in different folders, now let's try it as if it were a domain. And I've just basically using the etc. host file as the quick way so I don't have to buy all of these domains or see if they're available. Let me try to get to HTTP that. Okay, it looks like Brave search is going to kick in. Maybe that character isn't as nice. Let's try with pleasesubscribe.com with a different kind. HTTP prefix again. Take a look at what happened here. This is using the XN dash dash and then other oddities dash XH0I to denote, okay, this is trying to use a puny code or Unicode character within the domain. And web browsers have now gotten smart to this and stopped that from being possible. At least you've heard of these old different attacks and techniques that, again, this has gone on for quite some time, and it's not new by any means. But trying a whole lot of these options, if I were to generally go through one by one, we'll see if any of them will even work, or if it's only our friend, that symbol, that was now allowed to go through. I think a lot of these variations you can keep seeing even in the preview. That's just not gonna let it happen because of our browser security getting smarter and better about this. Okay, every single one except this Japanese hiragana character is going to be replaced and handled with the XN usual thing that you see in the mix. Please subscribe is still present here. You can see that character is the one that made it through. That character probably isn't behaving well in our etc host file, so we'll have to ignore the DNS error there. But as you can see, even in the address bar, that one survived. Can I buy that on like Squarespace domains? Would that be a thing? I mean, it's available. I might have to get that. But look, this is still even using the XN opportunity the same way that all the others were, but it will be rendered in the address bar for now. This is like, again, news articles that are being released currently at the time of recording. So I wonder if we'll see that one get sniped and cleaned up just as well. As you saw previously though, all of them could be used within the file name as the extension of a domain in the address bar, but this so far is still standing the test of time. So now that this has been brought to your attention, I really hope you're tracking this sneaky character, that special symbol that is lying to you, and I hope that education and awareness is out and about. So you don't fall for these phishing scams, these info stealer malware tricks and lures, or phishing kits. And again, if you are tracking any of those, hey, keep an eye out on Flare. Big thanks to the sponsor of today's video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.